We're live. John, Colum, how are y'all?
Hey, not bad. You?
Doing all right.
Yeah.
Me and John both had rough nights last night, Colum. Dad stuff. But
yeah, I don't have that problem. I'm away from my kids in hotel.
Lucky you.
So you're having a vacation then, huh?
Let's not say that too loudly in case my wife hears.
Yes. No, serious work. Colin is very busy.
Yes,
he's not sleeping as well.
Yes. So how is it's London, right? For Angular Connect.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. We'll get into that later. But Colum's presenting keynote, right? It's like
one of 3 people did the keynote, but yeah. So Yuri and Jordan are also doing it.
Is this your first time keynoting a conference?
Yeah.
Nice. Well done, sir.
Yeah.
Well done.
It's exciting, huh?
It's terrifying.
That's one way to say it, yeah. I think it's good though.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear more about that. But sorry, were you saying something, Colin?
I was just saying there's a lot of good content in the keynote, so it should be good.
Very cool. We may have a surprise later with the conference. We'll see. But right now we're just chilling, waiting for more people to show up, and we'll get started. John's got something pretty cool to show us, I think.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty neat.
Yeah,
I'm excited about it, and a lot of people on at NX are excited about it. And hopefully when I show it, more people will be excited about it and more people will use it. It's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah. I appreciate you being here to proselytize the coolness.
Manifest the coolness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, so we can spoil the surprise a little bit. Like the things I was going to be presenting is the self-healing CI, which I don't know, maybe you give like the 10,000 foot view, John.
Yeah, the 10,000 foot view of self-healing CI is basically whenever your CI fails, NX Cloud will try its best to fix it. You know, when I go through the demo, I'll go through more details of it, but in a super high level, that's pretty much it. We want to make sure that NX Cloud and NX itself help you get your PRs and your work done as quickly as possible. And essentially we're going to talk about like a time to green type of scenario where that green is your PR being green and not red. And self-healing CI, it will help with that.
Sweet. We have our first comment. Logan, what's up, sir? Welcome. But yeah, one of the cool ways I've heard it described, John, is I think this came from Victor, and this is something I totally resonated with as soon as he said it. It's like sometimes when you're working as an engineer, you're in this mode where you're kind of like babysitting the PRs, which like it's a perfect example because it's like it's requiring constant attention, even when you're not like actively working on it or staring at it. It's still in the back of your mind, like, hey, this thing is out there. I know it's going to pop up at some time. It's almost like you've got all the balls in the air and you're trying to make sure throw that ball back up as soon as you can.
Yeah, and it's hard to remember to run all your different things before you push, like formatting and all that. You don't want that to fail your PR when you're hoping that it will pass and all that because you added an extra space or something happened. And it's annoying, right? Because you just want it to go. You want it to merge in. You want your feature out there, and you want it to be shared. And helping you get to that point is pretty much what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah. Well, I think the way Victor put it was like it feels like instead of babysitting the PRs, it feels like you're putting them in daycare, right? So it's like you still have to pick them up, I guess, at some point.
I still have to take care of it, but NX Cloud will pretty much babysit it for you, so that you don't have to, and do all your different work and checkouts and all that stuff to make sure that things are working well.
Yeah, well, the cognitive load of it kind of goes
Yeah.
away because like something else is managing it. I don't have to keep bouncing that ball up in the air. There's something automated there that's going to, at least if there's something dumb I did. Like I don't know how many times I've submitted a PR and then it's like, oh, lint error.
Yep.
You dummy. Kind of is like what I get.
Yeah.
Like,
So
oh, crap.
for those
drop
things,
a commit, switch over to that branch.
Yeah.
Fix the space, then push it back up.
Yeah. Or remove the unused variable. You're like, no, I want it there. So
yeah.
I know.
Like ignore that. Yes, Lance, please.
Or fix it.
The other way to look at it too is that if you're waiting for somebody to review your PR and they see that it's red and failing, they're most likely just going to not review it until it's green anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So even getting that first review from somebody for you to actually come on and make any changes, it makes that faster as well.
Yeah. That's the whole time to green. That's like why it's a helpful metric, I guess. But well, we do have a question here. Maybe do you want to hit this real quick before we get into the demo? Because this is maybe an interesting thing. So WebDex asks, how does self-healing behave on flaky tasks? Maybe some more context. Does it waste cogs? So yeah, go ahead, John.
It doesn't. So we're working on improving the flaky tasks scenario right now, where we know on NX Cloud if a task is flaky because we know how many times something would run in the background. And with the whole self-healing CI, if something is flaky, we will tell you ahead of time, or we'll tell you in that self-healing CI review or comment that we'll post saying like, oh, this is a flaky test. Rerunning your CI would be best. And we would eventually just rerun it for you. But right now, we're just letting you know this is a flaky task. It's not really, we can't really fix it. And in that same sense, if it's like an environment change, like V8 crashed in your node process, we're not going to waste time trying to fix that. We'll see already. Like this is a V8 thing. Rerunning your CI will most likely fix it. So we know ahead of time if something is flaky or if it's like an environment thing, and we will present that information to you once you have your PR up and give you the next steps on how to solve that as well.
Cool. Yeah, one thing maybe worth mentioning is like NX Cloud does it has its own like mechanism that's separate from self-healing CI just for dealing with flaky tasks. So
yeah. It's part of like that time to green metric as well, where if we notice that this task was working in previous runs and then now it failed, we will like automatically retry it. And then if it still fails at that point, we'll try to like fix it. And if we can't fix it, then we present that information to you.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, cool. I think we're about ready, John. If you want to fire up the engines and
start showing it off,
take a look at what you got.
Yeah, let's go. So let me just share my screen here. A lot of buttons to share. All right.
There we go.
Whoop. Okay. So off the start here, I'm just going to create a new workspace from NX Cloud so that we could show off like this will work off the bat without having to do too much configuration. So in here, I'm just going to go ahead and create a repository. I'm going to name this one self-healing CI, or go demo self-healing CI. Let's create this workspace or repository. Oh, well, that was an interesting one. I got a 401 on that. Demo. Oh, I'm doing a screenshot. Demo.
Maybe I've missed the boat here, John, but this is new to me. So this is creating a new NX workspace from.
Is this new? Oh, okay. Yes.
It's new to me. I mean, I've missed some stuff, but
yeah. So in NX Cloud, we have a whole new onboarding procedure where you could go ahead and just create a new repository automatically, and it'll do the whole setup for you. And I think it did it here. Yeah, it did it. I don't know why I got a 401 in there, but in here, once you do that setup, we have some templates that allow us to basically start off from a nice starting point. So here we could either do an Angular repo or React repo or a TypeScript repo. And then once we do that, it will set up everything for you automatically, create the repository for you, and just get you up to speed or get you rolling much quicker than having to go into your terminal, doing NX create workspace or create NX workspace and all those things. So it's just a quicker way to get on top or on NX Cloud. Yeah. So in here, we created this repo. Now we have these buttons here where you could continue the tutorial and all that stuff. But for now, I'm just going to do clone repository. So this is
JVA
the one that
is requesting we add Spring repo to the lineup.
We are going to be updating the lineup. I don't know if Spring is going to make it.
Oh, hold on. Let me. I think that 401 really messed something up in here. Let me do this one again.
Well, while John's doing this too, just we'll gather up some of the questions in the chat. We do want to make sure we hit them all, but especially some of them will probably make more sense when we get to Colum's part of the chat. But yeah,
I'm gonna keep the default.
Appreciate y'all being here though.
Oh, this one's already in use. Demo my workspace. Huh. Well, something is messing up on that. So we can just go ahead and do it the old-fashioned way. So in here, let us, actually, I'm going to get this workspace again because it has a lot of stuff in here. I'm just going to make sure everything is okay on that. So let's clone this up. Go here, clone this. Let's authenticate that. Authenticate this again. And I go demo my workspace. So inside here, this is pretty much a workspace that was created from that template on nxCloud. And we should have things set up already to connect to cloud. If not, then I will do it manually by just going npx nx generate to cloud. So there's going to be a lot of waiting. Oh, what the heck? I forgot about npm. I wish it was automatic all the time. Let me see. Cloud. Oh, is that not it? Connect to nxCloud. There we go.
Maybe a timely question, John.
Yeah.
What's your code theme?
This one is it's the one I made myself. Thank you for asking that, because I'm always in arguments with Victor. He says he doesn't like my theme, so I'm glad at least one person does.
You've got to publish this theme later.
It is published.
I feel like this is not the first time we've had you on and someone compliments your theme.
This theme is available. I'll post a link after. I don't want to show it in here, but let's just make sure that this is going well. So let's go back into cloud here. I think something messed up in here. Let's just connect an existing one here. Actually, yeah. Allow access. That's too much in there. Hold on a sec. The woes of live demos, huh?
I know.
Allow. Yeah, this is already there. Let me go back here. Connect existing. This one. Enter organization. Actually, let me push this up. Git commit. Connect to cloud. Git.
So this is just running the connect to cloud generator, which pretty much just gives us the ID, right?
Yeah. So at that point, browser is already connected. Okay. That is good to know, I suppose. So let's go back here. Here. Let me just copy this one to make sure it's the same. Oops. All right. So we got that set up finally. So let's go into actually the self-healing portion of this. So what we want to do is whenever a new NX repo is connected, or if you have an existing NX repo, we would have this particular command in your CI file. And this command is what it will actually trigger the self-healing portion of NX Cloud for your repository whenever you do PRs and stuff. It's important to note that we or NX Cloud will not try to fix your PRs, or not. It won't try to fix your CI if it's running on main. We'll only try to do it if it's a non-long-lived branch. So when we have this, we're okay to. Can I commit this? I guess not. Let me just push this again. Update ID. Okay. So let's go ahead and do like a quick little fake, a fake failure or something that could potentially happen that you might come across. So let's go and do this new branch. Go Kamisuli and update component or something like that. So in here we have this welcome component. Let's change something in here that will fail the test. So I think we have something called welcome. Yeah, here we go. Let's change this to hi. Like, that seems like a nice change, right? So we'll go here. Let's commit this. Update component to say hi. So now let us push this up. Now we can open it in GitHub, make the PR. And then this is going to start running our CI here. So because I changed that, I know ahead of time it's gonna fail the test. So it's a little bit of the revealing the magic there. But the thing is that we want this to fail so that we could show what's happening here. So the CI will start, and CI will start, and then we will show other information in the NX console extension as well.
Cool.
So we could see that if a CI is started, we have the information here as well, right? So that was there all along. But the important thing is going to be coming as soon as this fails.
Cool.
Now,
so this is kind of like I'm working as a developer, very much my normal workflow. I pushed up a commit, or I pushed up a PR.
Yeah.
Now, like,
so
the daycare kind of is in motion.
It is in motion now. So now let's say you push this up. It was a hard feature. You're like, yeah, this is good. And now you go grab a snack or something.
Cool. Well, speaking of maybe grabbing a snack, I wanted to bring in, this is maybe our special surprise. Michael!
Hello.
What are you doing, man? We're going through John's demo here of self-healing CI, but just wanted to say hi. I saw you couldn't stay very long, but how's everything with the conference going so far?
Not forever. I'm in the workshop location at the moment.
Nice.
My co-trainer Julian is doing the training now, and I quickly jumped into the call. I wanted to say hi.
Cool. Well, we got Colum here to talk more about Angular Connect in a little bit, but appreciate you stopping by.
Colum is having a keynote at Angular Connect.
Yeah. Well, Colum was telling us about what y'all were doing last night. It sounded like a good time.
Last night or this
Yeah, we
morning.
did
Yeah,
rehearsal
exactly.
of all the technical equipment, the talks. We made sure Colum knows what to say on stage. Helped him a little bit, all the important things that you do in the middle of the night.
Yes, I'm sure it was all business. Well, I appreciate y'all working diligently to make the conference a success.
Yeah. It's
Cool.
a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, you go ahead and jump off whenever you need to, Michael. But yeah, we're just going through John showing us PR daycare here.
Yeah.
Oh, and it looks like did it just fail there?
Yeah, so this one failed. But now we should be in the process of actually fixing it. If we go into VS Code, we could see that it actually did a fix, and it's just it told us all these things here. Now, if you were like still working on stuff and you went to a different branch and all that, you would see this notification saying show fix and all that. And here is when we actually do the fix. So we do the fix, and then we show that it was verified and all that stuff. And it's shown in your editor here.
Right. So this isn't just that something out there, some LLM was like, hey, do this instead. This was like, we tried that and we verified it to make sure it passed.
So when we verify, we essentially rerun the task that failed so that we know that the fix is okay.
Yeah.
So in this case, if you are in your local editor, you got to apply the fix directly through the API or apply the fix locally, so that if something is weird in the diff that it created, you could manually edit it here. If we go back,
I was hiding. Can you go back to that previous screen, John? I think our faces were actually hiding the diff there.
Oh, sorry.
Cool. So you can actually see. No, it's my fault. So you can actually see the change that it suggested, which was exactly. Oh wait, is this the change that it suggested, or is this the change that
this is the change that suggested to basically make it?
Oh, this is the test. So it suggests changing the test.
Yes. So because I changed the component, it's saying, okay, the test was failing because the component changed. And when we're very specific when we're trying to fix these things to not undo user changes, because that's basically their intent, right? So I changed the component to say hi, and then the tests were not updated. So now the self-healing CI in this part is like, okay, we'll update your test to make sure that your changes pass. So in here, it did that.
Yeah. So if there's multiple files involved in the change, is that they would all show up here? Is that the idea?
Yep.
Cool.
So if there's multiple failures, if there's multiple problems, or how multiple files change, they would show up in this diff, and it should show up in the Cloud UI as well.
Yeah. So it's pretty much the silly things we forgot to do.
Yeah.
Nextcloud is handling for us.
Yeah. So if we go to the Cloud UI, and at this point here, I got to it through clicking this link up here, but you can also see it in your. I don't know why I didn't get any GitHub comments there, but if you go to the Cloud link here, we would see like a self-healing CI tab in your runs or your whole CIPE section here, and it'll give you this pretty much the same description of what was in the console. So if we could, like this one is, it's a good explanation, or it's a good analysis saying why it did it and all that. So we could go ahead and we could apply the fix here. Like I said, you could apply the fix here or apply it locally. I'm going to go ahead and just try to do the apply fix here. And hopefully it goes through.
It sounds like you're rapidly typing to apply the fix yourself, but I think that's actually Colum.
No, that was me. Apologies.
My hands are
You're fine.
I've been working on an end-to-end test for my work.
Kind of like a Wizard of Oz AI.
Yeah. So it seemed like we couldn't really apply it there. So I'm going to go and do it locally. So if we do it locally, it'll be the same diff that we had here. and we could go ahead and just commit that ourselves. So
yeah, I imagine this might be super helpful if it was like 95% of the way there.
Yeah, exactly.
There's like something you want to adjust.
Yeah, exactly. So if self-healing CI, we use AI to basically help create these fixes, and sometimes it's not there all the time, and it's good to be able to apply the fix locally so that you could do it yourself and just get it over that finish line. But in this case, it looks okay, so let's just go ahead and commit this. Git or update test, right? Let's just do that. Oops. So if we go back into the PR, go back to the PR. This was mine, but usually we'll be able to commit it through nxCloud, and then this should be green. Now that's one of the parts of self-healing CI. Like this one it was a little bit manual work where we still had to apply locally ourselves, but we have support to actually go ahead and do some auto fixing or auto applying, or I guess what people call now is like a YOLO mode, like just fix it and hopefully it's all vibe coded properly and all that. So some people like that. So we do, but we do have support to actually do like auto apply fixes. So to do that, we have to configure the start CI run, because this allows us to just do configurations for that whole CIPE. In this case, I don't need to do any agent work, so I just put no distribution. GitHub Copilot is pretty eager to help me here, but it's not right.
Hey John, so it flashed up on your screen there for a second, but we got a little notification that like the run had finished. It looked like it was a notification from VS Code. I believe that's coming from the console plugin, right? So that was just you being like, hey, that commit that you pushed up that applied the fixes manually.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that probably run. It probably was like cache hit all the way through, right?
It could have been a cache hit. I don't know if I had a cache enabled for these tasks, but it could definitely be a cache hit, so that because we do rerun it, if all the hashes and all the cache keys match, then it will be a cache hit.
Yeah. So we essentially saw that previous one just complete again. And even though we weren't paying attention to it, we just got the notification. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, sorry to derail.
No, that's good. I missed it myself because I was looking at this, but if I had this set to auto merge, then it would just merged and away we go. And that was like that time to green scenario where I didn't have to think about the fix too much anyways, and just apply the fix and away we go.
Yeah. Well, I imagine that's fine still, because probably you have to have someone come in and approve it still.
Yeah, that's true. But if it was me, I like to live on the edge. Just merge it in. CI is good. Don't need no reviews.
Nice.
Sometimes, unless you're, I don't recommend all the time.
Nice.
So in here,
so sorry. What's the glob or what's the parameter here? Auto apply fixes.
Yes.
Is this not just a true false? Is this like?
No, it's not a true false. So we're able to actually know which tasks fail and which ones could be fixed. So in here, we have this flag, which is auto apply fixes, which is AKA YOLO mode type of thing, where we will automatically apply or commit those fixes. So usually you would do these things for things that would always be correct. So things that could be deterministic in a way that if you run a command, it'll fix it. So a good thing that we recommend doing for these auto apply fixes is like format checks, lint checks, things that are tool controlled, so that when we fix it, we know we just run the command and it'll fix it. So for like so I'll do an example for format. So in here we'll just say auto apply anything that is pretty much a format, and this will match the task ID that NX has. So usually when we run tasks, and you can see it in NX Cloud, we have like a project, target, and configuration type of ID. So you could be very specific in saying apply fixes for anything that is this project, and just match it any target, any configuration. You could do it for this target, and development if you have that configuration, or if you want to match any builds, it will basically match any project with a build with any configuration, right?
Got it.
So
Okay.
So it's a regex match against.
So it's matching for a specific task, and that task is based off of project target configuration.
Yep.
As an ID, or as an
Yep.
identifier for it. Cool.
Yep. Now format is a little bit different because we have to run that through like NX Cloud record, but it's pretty much the same idea where you want to match it to format. If you want to match it to do lint as well, we could do lint as well. So in this case here, I wanted to fix formatting stuff, and then we could just do npx NX Cloud record npx NX format check. So in here, now we do a check, and this check will fail on CI, and with the auto apply fixes, it would pretty much automatically apply it. I'm going to try to do it. Hopefully the issues we're having with the GitHub API are solved, and if not, then we'll post a nicer demo of it. But I guess we should give it a shot, right?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Right. So we have this. Let's do more formatting issues. I guess we go here. It's a good formatting thing. What would something people won't actually do this, right? Save without formatting. Oh no, shoot.
You can't even do it.
Save without formatting. Okay, it's hard.
Yeah.
Let's just confirm. Okay, it's all there. Actually, I want to make this a new branch. Again, silly format checks. Add format checks. I spelled checks wrong, but it worked out. Check.js.
I noticed that. It's a new library we're coming out with. No, new JavaScript framework. Check.js.
Yeah. So yeah, it's brand new. So we use prettier bun. I don't know what's Kotlin's thing. And then Rust has Rust format. It goes beyond JS, right? So so this is the same thing that happened before. It'll do all these checks. It'll do the check. It'll fail here, and then it'll run the fix CI.
Okay, so you still need the fix CI command at the end.
Yeah, so you always need that in your ci.yaml. If
Gotcha.
you're using,
I thought maybe by adding the auto apply fixes option, maybe we could skip it. But no, it makes sense now.
No, so you like this is the command that will actually start the AI agent and do all the fixing.
Right.
And you only need this in your CI if you're not using NX agents.
Right.
In the NX agents world, yeah, if you're using NX agents, it will automatically.
Do you want to explain real quick what NX agents are, John?
Oh,
because that might be confusing.
So NX agents is a way for us to distribute tasks across multiple machines. And the good thing about that is that you don't have to wait on one machine to run like your series of tasks. So it's a good way for distribution and getting things quicker. And it's pretty much the time to green. It's part of that time to green metric as well. So that if you have 100 tasks, it will be spread across 10 different computers or agents. And there's different configurations that you could do for those agents, but mostly you'll do like a checkout, run the tasks that are assigned to it, and then report back to the main job. So it's pretty neat. I don't have a demo available of that
That's
off the top of
fine.
my head.
I just wanted to
But-
make sure because we're talking about the NX agents. I think we know what that is. I just want to make sure if anyone's watching it, I wouldn't expect them to know necessarily. So
That's
just
true. That's true.
understanding the difference.
Yeah,
between-
it's pretty much distributed tasks to just speed up your CI flow. And it's more useful for having many tasks because right now I only have like 3 tasks, and then spinning up additional agents for that is not really efficient because everything is pretty quick in itself. But if I had like 30, then each of those will basically run 10 tasks each, and then we'll have results back quicker.
Right.
So and if you are using that, the fix CI command that we have here will be always applied on what's it called, on the steps the agents will do.
Cool. Hey, we got a notification.
Yeah. So
What's
this
up?
one said the CI failed and the NX Cloud AI has a fix, and it should be pretty much.
So before we had like apply fix on that pop up, I think, right? Or maybe am I misremembering?
Maybe.
Shoot.
Sorry. I'm gonna have to remember that too. I don't remember, but we have the apply fix here. It's the same as that we had before.
Gotcha.
But like in here, like you mentioned, if there was multiple files, it will show the multiple diffs in here.
I gotta hide us so we can see it.
There
we go.
So like looking at this by default, there was more changes than I expected. Like this one had changed this amp to the actual ampersand. Because I was
formatting our README files.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Because if we run the format ourselves, it'll probably change. It should have changed that anyways.
Yeah.
So in here, the self-healing CI basically ran MPX format. Like that's how you would fix checks, right?
Yeah.
And we could see that it actually did that. So it says the original error showed this, and then it ran this, the NX format, and it said auto fixes it, and then it verified it again by doing NX format check to make sure that things are good.
Sweet.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. It looks like we're still having issues on the GitHub side, so I'll look into that.
Yeah. So were we supposed to see like this getting YOLO'd in though?
Yeah. Because I think there was some issues with GitHub. Like when I was first creating the repository, we got a 401, and then there were some things with GitHub.
Gotcha.
So we'll have to double check on that.
All right, but what we should have seen is rather than having to apply the fix or apply the fix locally here, we should have seen it just kind of go ahead and get itself to green without you even having to press the button. It'll kind of notify you along the way, I guess. But
yeah, so we would still see that first button that says show fix, but if you ignore it and you're still getting your snack, you come back and see that was green. Like,
see, that's what I want. I don't want to feel. I want to feel like I could go to get a snack and it's like not have to worry about, oh man, I missed the notification or something like that.
Like even if you do miss a notification, we would still show it in here, in the cloud or the NX console view.
Yeah,
where you could see your PRs that are failed and all that stuff. And if you click the link here, you could get it back.
Well, so if YOLO mode had kind of worked properly, would we still have this? So we could like intercept it and be like, hey, I see this is green, but this is actually just 95% of what I want. Let me apply the next little bit locally. Or
yeah. So in that case,
it's almost like I want to pull down after NX Cloud is committed at that point. I feel like, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's a good point. I'll double check on that, but yeah, once the fix is applied, and if you see it that's coming along and it's not exactly right, you should be able to just apply it yourself.
Yeah, cool.
And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So we are constantly improving it, getting more into more complicated fixes and all that stuff. So this one was pretty simple, but it's a fairly common one for like formats and those checks. But
Yeah. So are we using this ourselves for like NX and like NX the backend work we do as well?
Yep. So we use it daily on our internal repo, and then we use it daily on the NX repo as well. So they're enabled there by default. And
Cool.
if you go into the NX repo, you should see some fixes showing up in there. And if GitHub was working correctly, we would post these same fixes as a review comment. And you would see notifications on your device if you had notifications set up.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully we'll get that sorted soon.
Cool.
And then we'll post a new update or a nicer demo of it, showing all these things going.
Yeah. So maybe what does someone need to do to get their hands on this right now, John?
All they have to do is get on NX Cloud, make sure that you're connected, so it works with the hobby plan or Teams or whatever kind of plan you want. And if you want it started in your existing NX repo, all you have to do is add this command.
Sweet. It sounds easy enough.
Yeah, and then it'll start auto fixing your stuff for you.
Nice.
All right,
Michael. Would you use this as an impartial party to the call, or did we just surprise you? You were paying attention.
The auto fix, I was like fully in another screen now. I'm honestly admitting I just switched back to your conversation.
I didn't mean to call you out like that. Sorry, you've got a conference.
But it's always nice to get embarrassed online, so let's go on.
You're good.
Yeah,
you're good. No, I'm excited. It's cool to see us using this internally too. Do you have any sense? Like, I know Victor always talks about like what percentage efficiency increase is this? What was your guess be, John, just from what you've seen from working with it?
We have the stats on NX Cloud, and I think it is my best guess right now would be maybe 20% quicker.
Well, what exactly is being measured? Is that like the time to green metric?
Yeah, the time to green metric.
Gotcha.
I don't know off the top of my head. I haven't looked at it in a while, but it is helping in some on a bunch of PRs that we have, and it's pretty cool.
That's cool. So the idea for time to green is average time from initial PR creation to the first passing run of all checks.
Yeah.
Cool.
When it's ready to be merged in.
Very cool. 20%'s pretty dang good, I would think.
Yeah, I have to confirm the numbers on that. So don't exactly quote me on it, but I'm optimistic.
Well, roughly. That's just anecdotally, that's kind of cool. I actually don't know like what I would expect a really good result of that to be. I'm trying to visualize what that metric actually means. You know, it's almost like the time to the time is an interesting metric, and I think that's really objective. But I think like the more interesting value is like not thinking about it, like the developers not having to have that as part of their cognitive load. I don't know how you measure that.
Yeah,
I think it would only be like overall efficiency of the company would be like the main thing. Like that's the only way you would really measure that. But
yeah.
There's so many other factors that would come into that too.
Sorry to jump in, but you could measure it in the same way as like don't interrupt the developer when he's in the zone, and the less you do that, the more zone time you have and the more productive you are. I believe it is comparable to that thing.
How do you measure that though, Michael? That's stuff you've done before, right?
What exactly? Measuring my productivity? I don't.
Yeah. Well, measuring productivity of like an organization. That's like a lot of what y'all do at Pushbase, right?
Yeah. So we try to measure a couple of different things. Productivity is definitely one thing. We also do is less technical. Of course, we prefer more the technical stuff, the hard data that you really can show everyone. Yeah. But yeah, of course, you also do that. Running risk that I embarrass myself again. Yeah. When the AI job runs on your server, like, is there any more advanced mechanism to get the right context than just using AI and throwing the changed line of code against the LLM?
Yeah. So we give it a bunch of information. So if there are multiple failing tasks, and against multiple different machines, or even from past runs, we give all that information to the LLM. So this is important for knowing that if something is flaky or some other change is failing and it's not related to your changes, the LLM will know that. So we'll basically give all the failures to the LLM, and it should be able to analyze which ones are actually related to your changes and which ones are outside of your control.
Mm-hmm.
So it knows as much information as you basically see on the NX Cloud UI. So it knows the previous runs on main, knows your previous runs on your PR and all that stuff.
And is it somehow condensed information, or do you just like bluntly speaking, like copy pasting the CI output and throw it in? Or do you tune, like, do you somehow consume and process the AI failures, condense it down to less tokens that AI can more efficiently, more accurately process the data, or you just throw it in at the moment?
Yeah, so we try to fit all the errors into the context that is available on the AI.
Mm-hmm.
So the good thing about failures is that usually the failures come at the bottom of the logs. So we could basically trim out the top part of it to fit into the context, and we get most of the information from that. And it just helps it focus better without having to see, node is, you don't have the proper flags for node or whatever. You want the errors, and we basically give it the errors that it needs.
Nice. Yeah, good. And the errors always the file. Like if you don't execute something that is like super bundled, you most probably always have the line of code also in the file. So that's pretty nice, I guess.
Yeah.
Very helpful.
Yeah. So and the agent itself has access to your code, and it could just go and find the things itself and fix it, and even sometimes finds more things than it needs to. But we're trying to tune it so that it's focused on that exact error that's failing.
Mm-hmm. You have any open or closed loop there running, or is it a one shot?
It is 2 stages. So we do the first initial stage or step of actually doing a fix as quickly as possible. So this is when we give it all the information, and it will present the fix. So that's when we show the first initial fix. And after that initial fix, we ask it to verify that fix. And and then at that point, it will rerun the tasks that failed. And if it still fails, it will iterate itself until it passes, and then present the final verification result. And that's when we show like NX Cloud verified this task by rerunning it.
Nice. Jonathan, I don't want to step on your nerve, but I have one last more question about that. So say it starts to fix it, it iterates over it, and maybe you had that already. Sometimes AI is making your test green in very weird ways that is very not acceptable, right? So you could comment out the code, you could, mock the stuff, you could and that happens quite a lot, to be honest, with AI, right? And we're working on a system where we migrate legacy code base to a new one. We also have loops, we have failures, we also do refactoring and fix it. And for us, it was like, okay, we really have to make AI understand categories of legit, valid fix and questionable strange things that it does.
Yeah.
And it should like categorize, and when you cannot fix it, right, instead of mocking the test or commenting the test out, please just stop and put it in the category I have no clue. Right?
Yep, so exactly. So we saw that too, where sometimes it just comment out tests and it was like, that's not correct, you know. But yeah, we are constantly iterating on our prompts to make sure that if it cannot fix it, tell the user you can't fix it. Just sometimes we can't fix it, right? So we are working on that, and we came across it, and we're trying to present that better to the user. And it's also going to fall into the category of like, oh, this is an environment change that's not related to your code, or it's a flaky task. Just rerun your CI yourself.
Cool.
That's it.
All right.
Well, we did have this question from the chat, John, that might be interesting. So if I have GitHub Copilot agent create a PR and then self-healing CI detecting an error, would they be working against each other?
I wouldn't say against each other. They'd be working together. Because if you have your Copilot agents create a PR and it fails, will the Copilot agent constantly iterate on itself? I'm not sure. Actually, I need to look into that. It's good. I need to look into that. But if it doesn't iterate on itself, then NXCloud will come in, see the failure, and push the commit. But it's a good scenario. If GitHub Copilot agents is constantly reworking the PR, then
yeah,
we'll have to look into that one.
That's one of the things. I think I've mentioned this to Victor before too. I'm kind of keen on NXCloud as like potentially being the validation or the verification piece of some other system, like some other AI driven system that's like, hey, this agent is going out and actively doing code or actively doing changes. How do we make sure that works?
Yeah.
Like, okay, NXCloud is the solution. Like this is a way of doing things really efficiently. Like you could set, like we've already been building that in some ways. It's like we have this pipeline that's super efficient. It's only going to run what it needs to run based off your changes. The things that it does need to run, it can run them all in parallel as efficiently as possible. We know which order to run it in. We know how to run it with using the least resources. So it seems like a really good complement to X developer flow, whether that's actual people or like some army of AI agents working against it. It seems like that would be a really good use for what we've been building. So cool. I don't know. I've been telling Victor about that idea for a while now. I don't think he's sold on it yet, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see in the next iterations and all that.
Yeah. Well, John, we intended to do 15 minutes on the demo. We're 45 minutes in.
Yeah.
I think that's like standard fare.
Yeah.
But no,
How
it
much
was great.
time increase?
Appreciate you
20%
coming
plus
through.
the minus.
Yeah. We're good though. But yeah, I do want to change directions here. Maybe go towards Angular Connect a bit before we run out of time, especially with Michael joining us. And we've got Michael. What is your official affiliation, Michael? Are you the owner of Angular Connect? Are you the runner?
Yeah,
What's your
we are the owner, like Eliran, or let's speak about companies, Push-based and eSquare.
Okay.
Acquired the brand and everything that goes with it. And we own that, run that, pet it, cheer it up, make it nice.
Nice.
People in, bring it alive. Yeah. No, we
You
are really
animate it.
excited.
Yeah.
We revive it, and that's I believe a wonderful thing. It is for me legendary. If you would have told me before my first talk that I would have like the career initiating talk at Angular Connect, I would not have believed you. If you would tell me after that talk I would run the conference, own the conference on my own a couple of years later, 10 years later, I would also not have believed you. So it's
Very
pretty cool. We are very excited to do that.
I think the first talk I ever submitted to was to Angular Connect. And I think I got immediately rejected.
Yeah, I mean that conference already back then was really only accepting really outstanding and good talks.
Yeah.
So it was always very hard to get in, and then I believe also the location plays a role. If you submit to a European conference from the US or India or wherever far away, it is definitely harder to get you in. Because you need to fly into Europe, you need to get in a day earlier than everyone else because jet lag, so it's adding up, and I can imagine that are all factors that played in. But you didn't submit this year, or did you?
I have not. I haven't been submitting to most conferences. I'm kind of, I don't know. I don't want to be super negative about stuff, but yeah, I think things have definitely changed since COVID with conferences. I think, and I'm sure now as a conference owner yourself, I'm sure you're aware. But
I mean, we also run 3 meetups in Vienna and in Spain one, and in a couple of other countries, and it goes down everywhere. Like Corona was a real hit in Vienna. It took me, I guess, a year and a half or 2 nearly to get that somehow running again. I was sponsoring every single time the meetup until at some point the other companies came back and said like, hey, I also want to sponsor it again. But I mean, running that for a year and a half, like without any juice from other ends is quite a, you need passion.
yeah, I get that. Well, I think it's like a couple things. It was like when COVID hit, it pushed a lot of people online, and I feel like a lot of communities kind of organically were created online, and I feel like those have been the ones that have been thriving more. In addition, it's like there's like a resurgence in where funding is going. It's much more targeted towards like first it was crypto and then it was AI. Yep, all that stuff. Exactly.
AI. That's my universe.
John feels attacked. John's what is
it's
your
not an
actual
attack. I
title,
love
John?
it.
Is it like the AI engineer?
I work with the technology too. It is just like, if you pressure so much money into a market that is not taking it, at some point you can just like go crazy. Then everyone has to use it. Now everyone has to use it. Use AI. Use AI.
Yeah.
I guess it's a normal effect from what we did 5 years ago. Starting to put so much funding into that one topic that now everyone has to use it, But it's good. I believe it is a productivity boost in a couple, like it needs to get a little bit more matured. Then you have like tremendous, not like now you help it like 20%, whatever you will have tremendous boosts in what you can produce in how much time. You will also most probably, believe it or not, increase the code quality of your code with that. At the moment, it doesn't look like, but I strongly believe you can see it even now with the right loops, the right prompts, the right context. It is like incredible good. So yeah, but still, I feel it's overhyped. It's overhyped.
Yeah,
too much air in the bubble. Too much air in the bubble.
I do feel like there's definitely a lot of like. In some ways, I think someone put a comment about this at some point, but it's like this is a VC's dream. Like this is if things live up to hype, it's like exponential growth to the like out the wazoo, which is like I think a lot of people are betting on that. And I think I don't know. I really don't know much to say whether it's worthy of the hype or not, but us and maybe like the work John's been doing is like, how do we get something tangible out of this? And I think we like self-healing CI for what it's worth. I think that's really nice.
It's a great idea. Really.
Yeah. Like I know for a lot of people when they're using AI, they're trying to shove it into everything that doesn't fit. It's like trying to use a hammer to screw a nail. It doesn't work, right? But if you find the right angle for it, it could be very powerful. Like it's another tool that can help you do your job better. It shouldn't do your job, but it should help you do better, right?
Yes.
And I think a lot of people are on that boat where it's saying it could do your job. Like as it is today, no, you need to help it.
Will self-healing AI? Let's pull a little bit the conference in. You have a keynote, Angular Connect keynote. Will the keynote talk about self-healing CI too? Will we see you, Jonathan, live on the stream? Will other people present the stuff? Like, how will it work? What can we expect from the keynote? Maybe it's not too much, but like small teasers, maybe.
Yeah, it would be nice if we had a keynote speaker on the panel.
Oh, we have a keynote speaker on the panel. There's Colum.
Yeah, you should see self-healing CI. Yuri should be talking about it as part of his area of focus. So we've split the keynote into areas of focus, and Jordan, Yuri, and I will all be talking about one of those areas, and self-healing CI will come up as part of
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I guess it will fit in very well. We have a couple of other AI-related talks too, and interesting topic, definitely.
I find it very interesting that Michael has said that AI is overhyped when the talk that he has given at his own conference is using AI.
Yes. Yes,
What's your talk on, Michael?
I rephrased it yesterday. Let me read it out here. Moving legacy with AI, context engineering, MCPs and agents. It's more or less like a, we try to refactor a code base. It's not like the default like Figma to code thing, and then you can make a proof of concept or an MVP. You really you have a brutally old code base, and you need to move it. And like as a human on that code base, I can tell you can sometimes look at the 2-3 files that you need to refactor for hours, and you will not figure out the basics of HTML and CSS and how it is connected there. Like really crazy. And that is a place where I believe it especially pays off if you nail it, that it really does something that is useful and not just change random things, right? And I was helping there a little bit with the MCP part and with collecting the right data and like processing them, bringing them in the right shape for AI, the prompts, the loops, and all the really, really smart brain work Kirill did from our team. I will mention him in my talk too. But yeah, it's super cool. We're on that quite a while, and it already moved. You have to imagine a refactoring that may take 3.5 to 4 years. Estimated, right, is now already after a couple of months hammering around with AI down to a year and something. And then we will improve the process further. We may get it even more down. At the moment, the bottleneck is not the coding and the AI anymore. It is like the QA afterwards, because like humans really need to check what is happening, right? Never trust AI. So that's the current bottleneck. We're working on that also. But yeah, it's about that. How to use it, how important it is to understand the basic mechanisms of the context window. What is a summarization? Why do I only get beginning of end of a conversation? What can I do against it? Like, what is an open loop? What is a closed loop? Is there a closed loop possible? There are all things that you need to somehow, like, it's important theory. And if you know that theory, you will be a better AI user. I can tell you, before I understood all of that, I was like YOLOing things in my cursor, and sometimes it worked. And after like 3 days of AI coding, I was exhausted of like always correcting the junior that tells me, correct, you are right, I did a mistake, then don't do it next time, please. But there's no state, right? So AI is also stateless. You need to understand a little bit. And I believe really like the 3-4 core concepts of theory that I present are essential and make everyone a little bit more productive. And on the other end, I believe it is quite interesting for people to see how we managed to use that really in production and bring value.
Very cool.
But I believe my talk is not the most important one on the conference itself.
Which one is the most important?
Well, of course, for me, the most important one is the NX keynote. After that, like, it's an Angular conference, so NX keynote is, of course, the most important thing. After NX keynote, I would say the second most important thing is the Angular keynote. Not just kidding.
Nice.
The other way around. So the first full block of the conference is only Angular core team. We have 3 to 4 slots where the core team is doing a talk together, presenting like what they did in general, like you do with the NX keynote. Then we will have an in-depth presentation of Matthew and one of Matthew on monorepos, and then one in-depth one of Alex Rickabu and Miles on the Angular signal forms. That is, I believe, for the Angular fans, this is the highlight there, definitely. Then there is the NX keynote. That's my personal favorite. I moved my talk in that slot so that I can be after you watch it while I'm sitting in the audience.
Nice.
What else? Let me scroll down here. I cannot take it away for everyone, but we have a surprise party, after party, with a location that is, I would say, making Angular Connect the most coolest and funniest conference we will ever have. Cannot spoil it, unfortunately.
Is it a karaoke bar, Michael?
Yeah, I cannot spoil it. Maybe it is some kind of karaoke that so far was never present in our community. So it's a special kind of that karaoke thing. Yeah.
I feel like I would be cheated if I ever went to a conference with Michael Hladky and didn't end up singing karaoke with him. So,
or philosophy chats during the night until 3 in the morning could also
yeah,
happen.
those two. Those are nice too. But usually karaoke starts it off. But yeah.
How do you feel with sponsoring conferences in general, with going to conferences? Is it like still such a good thing for NX? I remember NX was like when it started, it was at the heart of the community, I would say. Everyone that works, like every one of you, most probably, Jonathan, I don't know you that well, right? But the rest, I know they grew up there in the community, and they were like fixed on NX, and at some point they ended up working for the company. So it's in the past and still until today, I guess NX is really like very deeply embedded in the Angular community, also in other communities, of course. And I'm interested, like, how do you see that, or all of you nowadays? Do you feel you're still that much integrated in the community? Do you feel you spread it a little bit, like the focus, and you do more like overall across? How is it at the moment for you?
Yeah. Well, I think we've been trying to figure out pretty much how to like best connect to the community. Like in some cases, that's what this is. Like we're trying to reach out to see what are people interested in. Like the sponsorship of Angular Connect is, we want to invest back into that community. So yeah, it's definitely something that I think we're continuing to figure out how to best reach people where they are. And use that in terms of like making our product better, like understanding our customers better, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, maybe speaking to what you said, like what you described is exactly how I got connected with NX. It was like I was watching at the time it was like, Mike Ryan and Brandon Roberts and NGConf and Angular Connect and all those different conferences. And I was just really into it at the time, like consuming it on YouTube as much as I could, on Twitter, just talking about, I don't know, forums and reactive forums versus template-driven forums and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so
I remember specifically when Victor brought out the new router. I was like, sweet.
Yeah.
I didn't go to many conferences in my early days because the company I was at didn't really send people, but we did use NX there, and it was like NX version 5. And then
the talk from Victor, this must have been like 214, 215, could that be?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Somewhere around that, yeah. I remember two really like legendary good talks. One is where he explained on push and more fine-grained change detection. Like the other one was really about the router.
Yeah, the router one. Yeah, I remember watching that. And I was so impressed with it. Now me and Victor argue about color themes. That's just the way it works. It turns out.
Yeah. But yeah. Maybe before we get too caught up on it, because we are at the end of the time, and I think there's people that wanted to hear, especially about like RS build and RS pack, and I think that's some of the stuff you've been working on a lot lately, right, Colum? Specifically with Angular. So
our focus is on Angular RS pack rather than RS build.
Okay.
I see the question there.
Let me pull up this person's questions from earlier too.
I don't fully understand what they mean is why is Angular RS build separate from RS build. That is slightly confusing. Angular RS build is an implementation of the Angular compilation using RS build. RS build is its own build tool produced by ByteDance. But in terms of what NX is doing, we're focusing solely on RS pack because we see it as providing more value to more users, especially anyone that's already on Angular with Webpack. It's an easier migration path to go to Angular RS pack. Going to RS build is a completely different chain, big tool chain that's involved in that, and you wouldn't be able to support the same Angular Webpack applications as easily on Angular RS build.
Cool. Yeah, maybe if there's some more context on this, that'd be interesting. But oh, looks like we got the thumbs up, so we're good on that. But yeah, so as I've been talking about with some of our customers, seems like the big value that RS Pack gives is like you can take your Angular build, you can make it faster, and you can make it faster even while maintaining all of your Webpack plugins that you've been having. So your custom flow, if you built that on Webpack, you now easily port that over to RS Pack. Things just get faster. It's kind of like an isolated thing that some engineer can do while everyone else is still working on everything else. And they can just like kind of, was the Indiana Jones where they do the quick switch. It's like everything should just work. Right.
Yeah, exactly. And like we have a command that will help with that too. You can just run one command, we'll create the RS Pack config and things from the Webpack config that exists.
What's that command? Is that just a generator?
Yeah, it's just the generators convert to RS Pack. Pretty straightforward.
Cool.
And one of the things that we've noticed when we've been talking to customers is that they will have Webpack plugins that are not easily reproducible in ESBuild and the ESBuild toolchain that Angular has now. There is likely a way forward for them, but it would cost them so much time having to reinvent certain custom Webpack plugins that it's not worth that time.
Cool.
I want to point out some more detailed information on our RSpec Angular implementation. As there was Angular Connect before, we can stick a little bit with Angular. It's I don't want to use swearing words, but it's a bad show to try to like rewrite or write a bundler for Angular using more modern tools. I really love everyone that puts the incredible brutal effort in to do that. I'm not sure if you tested that ever, how hard it is to write to extend the Angular build stuff. So that's massively cool that you did that, Colum. And it's also I believe helped a little bit the ecosystem to get another lip out. Now we have the new Angular bundler package that is slightly easier to extend, right? I guess that is down to the big efforts that you and Brendan did. Brendan with Vit, you with RSpec, that is, I would say, unlocked those end in the team that made the team finally help us a little bit more to write our custom build tools.
Yeah, and you have to give credit to the Angular team. They did help out in terms of exposing certain internals that we would have had to essentially have hacks and workarounds for to access. And so they did help us out in exposing those. They're still under the private entry point, which means they could break at any time. We're aware of that. We will be willing to keep up to date with that maintenance. So, but the fact that they did that at all means we don't need a post install hook, which means everything is a little bit easier for people to get up and running with.
Yeah,
that's really great.
So with that's one of the things that has come up for me before too, is just I think maybe some of the stuff that makes Angular hard to work with. So for example, the TypeScript project references. This was one of the things that NX had put a lot of time and effort into figuring out. Like we introduced sync generators for this, a very cool tool, very cool mechanism for your repo at like some meta level that says, hey, like beyond just you can generate stuff to automatically code gen your work into place. This is like making sure there's one like source of truth, and you can actually sync these things so that NX can make sure everything is as you would expect it to be on files that need to be in your repo, but based off some other reference point. So all this stuff we had kind of put into making a really good experience for TypeScript monorepos, and then unfortunately a lot of our Angular users can't use it. So I don't know, maybe could you expand more on that a little bit, Colum?
Yes, it doesn't work quite so well in Angular workspaces currently because Angular needs to build its own custom ng program so that they can have their own transformers and that are used by the TypeScript program for type checking and handling decorators and all these, like all the additional things that Angular does at a framework level during compilation. That requires having a custom MG program, or not MG program, sorry, TS program. And the TS project references doesn't allow you currently to invoke a custom TS program when you run tsc-build.
Gotcha. Well, it is frustrating. Like that was something like we were looking forward to. I think bringing some of that value in. I wish it wasn't. I don't know. I wish it wasn't as. I don't want to use like obtuse, but maybe that is the right word for just hard to bring these advancements in. But yeah, do we know, is this something that will be resolved at some point in the future?
It's uncertain for now. The Angular team did try to make it some changes with Angular 20 to help us out with it, but it didn't go quite as far as we needed. We've spoken to them again, and they are still investigating it. There is a potential workaround that the Angular team knows about that they might implement, but we just need to keep the discussions going with the team and see how we get a path forward.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, it sounds like the team is pretty responsive for what it's worth. So I don't want to make it all negative, but I would, yeah. Hopefully we can have a good solution there soon. But I'm excited to see. Like I am in some ways sad I'm not going to be there in person for the conference. I think there's actually like some really cool stuff in Europe specifically going on with Angular. A lot of really talented engineers and talented developers just like doing really cool stuff there. So yeah, some of them may be in this room. I don't know, but
just kidding.
But no, I think there's like in Europe, and I don't know how accurate it is, but my perception is the average European web developer, Angular is their tool of choice. I feel like in America, the average web developer, they're most likely going to reach for React, and if they're not reaching for React, they're going to reach for Vue, unless they're working at Google. I imagine if they're working at Google, they're probably grabbing for Angular still. But yeah, that's I have no idea how accurate that perception is, but yeah, that's kind of why it would be interesting to be there in person and hear like I hear a lot of very convincing arguments for why Angular is still the way to go for people in Europe, and a lot of the stuff that I see coming out of there, it's like, you know, there is some convincing arguments to be made there.
I guess it's interesting question that you ask, because 3 years ago I would have answered that differently. Now, I mean, we are not there where we want to be, of course, but compared to like some years ago, Angular made a lot of changes that helped us to like catch up with modern things. And after they catched up a little bit, they shipped a couple of really good features that made us ahead of time in some areas, you know, like not everywhere, but for example, server-side rendering, top notch, like there's nothing out there anyhow.
Incremental hydration. Incremental hydration.
Incremental hydration, yes.
And partial hydration as well, I think.
They call it incremental hydration. Then they pulled in the event replay. You know, like we have a couple of really nice solutions. We have from our history this like well-structured, more enterprisey thing, you know, like patterns and things and battery included. And it's I believe way better to use Angular today than it was 3 years ago. It has more future, it has more perspective. It is also a little bit easier capable to catch up with modern tools, build tools, features, whatever, you know. So it got way better than it was.
Very cool. Well, yeah, I would be interested to catch up more on all that stuff. I was like we kind of alluded to before, was super deep in the Angular community at one point. I got to a point where things felt so obtuse that I ended up reaching for React as being like, hey, let me just escape like from a lot of this and just go back to something that like I can have more control over. So that's kind of where I went with things. But yeah, I'm definitely still have a lot of respect for y'all. pushing forward with Angular, doing cool stuff there. There's something about the way that components are set up, and especially like the life cycle of these components, where these things actually feel more like actual self-standing, could be self-standing components, for lack of a better word, inside of your application. And I feel like there's something cool about applications that are built that way, in a way that React doesn't really lend itself to very well, especially since like the functional components came out. But yeah, all that to say, Angular Connect happening right now, the workshop
happening
Michael
right now. At the moment, the NX workshop is running under me, like at 4 meters down here. NX workshop, 3 core team members in the room, crowded room, sweaty. Everyone wants to know more. It's really cool.
A room full of sweaty European Angular
Maybe not
developers.
sweaty,
But
but
doesn't get much better than that.
A lot of people interested in NX.
Well, very cool. Very cool. Well, Michael, thanks so much for coming through. Colum and John, really appreciate the demo. John, Colum, best of luck on the keynote. And
thank you.
Hope you all have a great time out there in London. My alarm's going off because I got another meeting to jump into. So let's end it here. And
All right.
Appreciate y'all. Thanks everyone for joining in. We'll catch y'all next time.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.